I would love to get started in talking about the Addams Family and what has it been like seeing the love for these films and these characters as well throughout the years.
The love for our movies.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. I mean, it's incredible. I think Chris has been involved with way more movies that are beloved than I have been. But to be a part of these two movies that people still love and dress up as, and it's really amazing, and it's wonderful, and it feels really good.
Yeah. I guess that what comes to mind, I grew up, my family subscribed to the New Yorker magazine, and it has cartoons in it, and I always couldn't wait for the cartoons to come because it was Charles Addams, and there'd often be, what's his name? Fester, thank you. Would be in it, so I grew up kind of into Fester, just as a fan, you know, and then decades later, you got a call, would I like to be in the movie? What are the odds?
That's incredible. I didn't realize you had that connection. Like, I was so young when I made the movies that I had to be informed about the Addams Family by my parents. And my mother did show me a collection of the cartoons, but I didn't know about it before that. But it would have been so incredible to have grown up with that and then to have been asked as an adult to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's an incredible thing. Yeah.
Speaking about being a fan of the original characters, you know, those characters have been around for a while. They were iconic. So when you were able to be in the films, do you think you were able to kind of be creative and do something fun and different, or did you want to kind of keep it similar to those original characters?
I just be Fester, you know. I mean, he was so clear the way he was drawn and his attitude, you know, that I just wanted to be able to make that real. Yeah.
And for me, again, like, I didn't grow up with the cartoons and I didn't grow up with any of the information. So my mother sort of, I remember before going to the audition for Wednesday, I had to go on a third audition for a movie I really wanted, where I had to cry and do this whole dramatic scene. So I almost didn't go to the Wednesday audition because I was so tired and I just wanted to go home. And my mom was like, no, this is actually really cool. And I was like, oh, fine, whatever. And we went, and she was like, no, it's perfect, because you actually don't have to do anything. You just have to say the words. And I was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah, it's Wednesday. You don't know this, but like, you literally don't have to give any emotion, just say the words. And I was like, okay, fine, then I can go to the audition. And that's what I did. And then playing the part was really fun, because being a little girl in the 90s in the entertainment industry, I was always told to like smile and be charming and all this stuff. And so to get to play this part where I didn't have to do any of that was so much fun, I have to say.
Going off of what you were saying, Christina, you know, you were mentioning like growing up in acting, it was like smile, perform, and then with Wednesday it was very, you know, kind of showing your emotion. Was that kind of challenging in a sense, because essentially you were doing kind of a lot of what you normally do not do?
Well, I had a really hard time smiling and being charming, so it was a relief, frankly.
And then I would love to know about kind of your overall experience filming these films.
All of us.
Yeah.
We were all together between takes, and how we just talk in our costumes, and we felt like this is a family.
Yeah. And with Raul, especially.
Yeah.
Raul always made us all feel like we were
Yes.
a family. He was such a wonderful, beautiful human being. And he always made everyone feel comfortable and at ease and safe. And no matter what we were dressed up like or what we were doing, it always felt so good.
Yes. Yeah. Raul was.
He was a wonderful human being.
Yeah.
Always singing opera and having a child on his lap.
Well, there was a
Not in
scene.
a weird way, like in a nice, a wonderful way.
We had a scene where it was made to look like Venice, so there was a gondola.
Yeah. When you
Right.
guys went down to like the safe area,
There was a real boat on real water in this
The
thing,
studio.
Venice. And I remember Raul got up and sang an aria from some opera. You know, it was the perfect place.
Yeah.
You know,
He was so.
yeah.
And so you were able to be a part of these movies and these iconic characters, and once again, the character of Wednesday is now, coming back and on Netflix. What has it been like seeing specifically that come together and like that character really shining?
It's been so fun, and I think it's a testament to who the character is, regardless of who's playing the character. Wednesday, I think, really means a lot to people, especially, I think anyone who's ever been a little girl knows that you're always told to smile, you're always told to be pleasing to other people, and for a little girl to actually have the self-possession to say, no, this is who I am, and I'm not changing for anyone else, I think that has always really meant a lot to people. And I played her as the child Wednesday, and Jenna plays her as a teenage Wednesday, and it's just so fun to see that character live on, and for other generations to experience it and have her as an icon,
I remember, and maybe I don't have it right, but for Addams Family 1, the first one, we had our first reading. All the cast, producers, writers, you name it, present. And somewhere during that Uber meeting, some problem arose with the script.
Yeah.
And everybody was sort of pitching in, this is the solution, or that's the solution. It went on and on, and eventually everybody came to a solution.
Well, all us actors did. I was a child. But I was just listening to you guys, and all the adult actors decided what they thought would be best for the ending, and I was just listening.
Yeah, and I don't remember but after it was agreed, this is what you voice. You know, and how old were you then?
I was 10.
10?
But I didn't, but here's the thing, as a kid, you don't understand that you're in the presence of like the owner of Paramount. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know. I just was like, we're gonna have this group discussion. Here's what I think everybody else here wants. And let me tell you, Angelica feels really strongly about this one point. And that's how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, she just got up and said, if you do that, this solution that you all have come up with, the consequences will be this and that and that. 10 years old. And told the room. That was
I had zero awareness of consequences or fear. I had no awareness of, like, you know, I didn't know that Mike Ovitz was in the room or whatever, you know what I mean? So to me, I was just like, no, it doesn't make sense. And everybody over here is saying that this will be really disappointing for the audience. So, like, we shouldn't do this. I can't believe it. I mean, now, as a 44-year-old, I probably wouldn't do it. But, you know, I was 10.
And it's always so exciting every Halloween season getting to see these movies again and again. How many of you out there watch these movies like every Halloween? Give us a shout. And you both have also been a part of, you know, other kind of like spooky movies. Do you love Halloween?
I have to say, and I'm sorry to disappoint people, but I hate Halloween. I'm so sorry, I know, it's so disappointing. I think it's probably because I dress up all the time as my career. Like, that's my excuse. Yeah, but I don't, and I love giving out candy, and I like watching horror films at home. But the idea of being in a costume makes me scratch.
wow. Because I remember when I was somewhere during my adolescence, in the school, there was some sort of getting up on stage and doing some Halloween thing. And I didn't know what to wear. I think I was supposed to be a Native American.
It's also so much pressure.
I know, and I was terrified. Yeah.
No, I think it's hard to ask actors if they love Halloween. Basically, is the moral of this story.
And now you both have years of experience in the industry and have been in a ton of great projects. Is there any project that you've worked on that really stands out to you?
Any project?
Do you have any?
You know, I think the life of an actor is the projects you do go along with the years of your life, and so I would have to say right now the project that stands out to me is the thing I'm currently working on, and we're about to start our 3rd season of Yellow Jackets. And so that's the thing at this moment that I'm invested in. You know, it's hard to go back. It's like saying, oh, I miss my 20s. If I were to go back and say I miss a project I worked on at that time, it would be very depressing. Just like it's depressing when you miss being 25. So I would say I'm just really invested in what I'm working on now.
Now, let's see. Halloween. You know, no. But somehow I associate Vesta in a way with Halloween, the pranks,
Yes.
the mischief and all. Before we started shooting, there was a big discussion of makeup because have that round face like in the cartoon.
No, I remember the first one. You had a huge prosthetic.
I had
face.
prosthetic all over the place, and
He looked so uncomfortable the entire 6 months of shooting. It was crazy.
and
I remember that.
Yeah.
Even as a child, I was like, that looks awful. Uncomfortable, not bad.
So they wanted to shoot a scene, and they shot a scene between Raul and I, Gomez, and it's like on a tear, just because they wanted to see what the makeup looked like on camera. And I didn't want to do it because I wasn't ready, and I thought, dead. But I did what I did, and then I got a call the next day, very serious, kind of solemn. Mr. We want you to come in. We want to talk to you. I mean,
As all actors, you thought you were getting fired. We always think we're getting fired when we get those calls, by the way.
And so I go to the offices, and there's a lot of milling around, and there's a guy who could be Fester without doing anything. He's got the round head, it's shaved, he's got this long cloak, kind of a big body. And I thought, that's what this meeting is about. Bye-bye. So, then we, what's his name, said, okay, let's go. Both the producer and the director, I can't think of the name.
Barry Sonnenfeld and Scott Rudin.
To go in to watch the film, they don't say anything. We watch the scene. And they said, turned to me and said, Chris, we feel it would be much better without all the makeup.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
That was the whole point of that meeting.
And the guy out in the
Was your
around the
double?
office
Was your stand-in?
was my double stand-in.
Half the time, it's interesting that people are more nervous about, you know what I mean? They were probably more nervous about you
Yeah.
and what you wanted. And so they felt they had to do this whole thing instead of just being straightforward.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was going to, no makeup,
So good.
don't fester.
In addition to the makeup, though, I read like you did shave your head
Yeah.
for Fester, and that did that help, and did that help really bring you into the character?
Oh, yeah. Because I think he's wrong that. The cartoon. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helped. Yeah. And so we are here in Seattle, but your work takes you everywhere, or it can take you everywhere. Is there a place that where you filmed that you really, really loved?
Yeah. It's a place in Peru, Chile, Machu Picchu.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Machu
Right
Picchu.
there.
It,
Sounds so good.
yeah, John was there, and we did our thing in some city, and I think took a train up to as close as you could get, then a bus up closer, and then so you're really in the town. When I was in high school, or somewhere around there, a friend of mine, we talked about going in together and hiking it. It's like a 3 or 4 day hike if you want to go that route. That never happened. So this was great, and it was gorgeous. If you ever get a chance to go, it's like no other spot on the planet. This village established on the top of these pinnacles, he's going up, and the people down below who lived around in the valley but didn't even know it existed, but it was a whole kind of civilization lived on that peak. And they made stone buildings. It was extraordinary.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, mine is more boring. I like shooting in London. It's where we shot Sleepy Hollow and a number of other films I did. I'm always trying to get back there.